If he loses, he can climb back. If I lose, it's a different ballgame altogether. I don't even know if I have that many years left to climb back again. So for me, this is it.
It was more like it's all or nothing for you
Yeah,
than
probably.
it is for him. You agree?
Yeah.
With Fight Night fast approaching, the boxing world is buzzing over one of the most intriguing heavyweight clashes of the year, Joseph Parker versus Fabio Wardley. The bout takes place this Saturday at London's O2 Arena, and the atmosphere around it has the feel of a true collision between experience and raw power. Fighters, pundits, and fans alike are making their final calls, and if the pros are right, this fight isn't going the distance. Dave Ellen didn't mince words when discussing the matchup. After watching both men's recent performances, he's confident about what's coming. He expects Parker to finish Wardley inside the distance. For Ellen, it comes down to class and composure. Parker, he believes, has the edge in every department that counts at this level: timing, ring IQ, and the ability to stay calm under fire.
I think Parker will stop Wardley. Too experienced and too good, I think.
That prediction lines up with what many others across the heavyweight landscape are saying. Parker comes in as the WBO interim champion, holding a record of 36 wins with 24 knockouts. He has been operating at the highest level for years, facing and defeating some of the biggest names in the division. Wardley, on the other hand, has made it fast and powerful rise through the ranks. With 18 knockouts in 19 fights, he has earned his reputation as one of Britain's most dangerous finishers, and now carries the WBA interim belt into the ring.
Yeah, they don't both don't need to take the fight, do they? Both don't need to take the fight, but it just goes to show what kind of fighting men they actually are, and I think Joe kind of needed it. It was when's the last time he fought? In Riyadh when I fought, wasn't it? Yeah. So it's a long time ago, man. It's a long time ago, and it's without sounding disrespectful to Fabio, it's a good fight for Joe. I believe anyway. I believe it's a good fight for Joe. It's dangerous because they're heavyweights. Anything goes. But I feel like Joe's too experienced, too smart, too sharp. And yeah, he'll be chomping at the bit.
Parker's advantage lies in his experience and adaptability. The former WBO world champion has faced almost every kind of opponent, slick movers, heavy hitters, and awkward punchers, and found ways to overcome them. He was the first man to take Anthony Joshua in the full 12 rounds, and his defensive discipline remains one of his key assets. He has shown he can not only withstand big punches, but return fire with sharp, accurate combinations that can turn the tide of a fight. In his most recent run, Parker has looked like a man reborn. Within the past year, he's delivered a statement run over Martin Bakole, finishing him inside 2 rounds, before outboxing and outsmarting both Deontay Wilder and Zhilei Zhang, 2 of the most feared punchers in the heavyweight scene. Those victories re-established him as a legitimate force and proved his toughness, patience, and ability to follow a smart game plan.
Don't think he gets the respect he deserves. Win or lose, you look at who Joseph Parker has fought people. This is off the top of my head, right? Carlos Takam, Andy Ruiz, Anthony Joshua, Dillian White, Derek Chisora, Joe Joyce, who am I missing here? Zhilei Zhang, Deontay Wilder, Martin Bakole, and Fabio Wardley. I feel like I've missed someone, but that alone, look at that, what I've just said. And when you think about it as well, like when you think of the Carlos Takam one, Carlos Takam obviously later on in years became a gatekeeper. Carlos Takam was still good back then. Andy Ruiz, obviously good back then. Like, he's not fighting guys when they're kind of done. Dillian White, very good back then. Chisora was tough. Remember that fight against Chisora? Very, very tough. Zhilei Zhang. Deontay Wilder was supposed to beat him and fight AJ. Like, he's fighting guys when they're still very, very good. Still very, very good.
Wardley's rise has been the opposite. Less about finesse and more about firepower. Coming from a white-collar background with limited amateur experience, he's relied heavily on his raw strength and natural fighting instincts. That power has carried him past every challenge so far. Against Justice Hune, Wardley was on his way to losing a decision before he turned the fight around with one big shot, earning another stoppage win. His unpredictability makes him dangerous. One mistake from Parker could be all it takes for the tables to turn.
What do we think of Parker versus Wardley? Excellent fight in terms of Wardley. Now Wardley got out of jail in his last one.
Well, that's
he was
what I
getting
was going to say.
systematically
Is it the right fight for Fabio?
Well, I think Joe Parker wins it. I think
Does that make it the right fight for Fabio?
the guy that he
Well,
just
it's
fought
the
was
right
Justice
opportunity.
Junior,
It's all
wasn't it?
about
Justice
opportunity.
Junior.
And you have to, it's the right fight, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, I think
Fabio?
so. Absolutely. Look, they're both at the top of the tree.
But for every believer in Wardley's puncher's chance, there are just as many convinced that Parker's experience will neutralize it. David Adelaide, who knows both men up close, agrees with the majority of that crowd. The British heavyweight, who was stopped by Wardley back in 2023 and has spent time sparring with Parker, shared his thoughts based on those first-hand experiences. Having felt Wardley's power and seen Parker's control in training, Adelaide thinks the difference in skill and structure will show. In his view, Parker's more polished and disciplined style should lead him to a late stoppage. But only if he stays focused. He sees Wardley as the type of fighter who can turn a clean performance into chaos if given a single opening.
I've been there with both of them.
Yeah.
I've been in the ring with,
Who hits harder?
I've been in the ring with Wardley, obviously, when I fought, and I've been sparring Parker before, and I think when it comes to being a well-rounded athlete, Parker's better. I just think Wardley's got zap, Parker's got power. Parker's way more regimented and he knows what he's doing. He's on balance all the time, he throws the right shots, he knows when to do it. Going back to what you said earlier, Wardley's a bit more unconventional. You can throw a shot, you might not see it.
Is there anything that surprised you when you was in there with Wardley?
Not really, if I'm honest. Obviously, like, I think it was just more of a thing of, look, we fought and I lost. I think what surprised me was me losing. Yeah, I think I was doing good up until round 4. Then obviously the shot in my eye affected my performance going after that. So
across the boxing community, opinions are split, but the pattern is clear. The majority lean toward Parker. Tony Bellew, who's followed Wardley's journey and sparred countless rounds himself during his career, respects Wardley's spirit and grit, but believes Parker's experience and professionalism will be too much over 12 rounds. Bellew expects Parker to control the pace, stay composed, and use his conditioning to pull away as the fight deepens into the championship rounds. He sees Parker's consistent tempo and smart defense as key weapons that could wear down a less experienced fighter like Wardley over time.
That's not a gimme, mate. Fabio Wardley's highly dangerous. It's one to watch.
Good fight, isn't it?
It is a good fight.
Parker Wardley, I'm actually looking forward to that. I think Parker does it with the experience and the skills and
I think he overcomes, but I think it's too big of a leap.
Wardley punches hard enough to make it a fight and then drag him into something and make it like so interesting.
Fabio's always in the fight, Carl. As he's shown
fight,
against Justice Huni. It's next month, isn't it? It's next month,
yeah.
Is it?
We'll give that a little shout out, but never mind.
Is it November
But that's
15th?
a good fight. Fabio
Like
Wardley,
that.
Joseph Parker. Look out for that one.
It's a cracking fight, mate. It's a brilliant fight and an amazing venue, the O2. You know, one of my favourite indoor arenas in the world. It's a fantastic venue.
Another fighter who knows Parker's toughness firsthand is Zhilei Zhang. The Chinese heavyweight shared the ring with Parker earlier this year and came away with a new level of respect for him. Zhang dropped Parker twice in their fight, but watched as the New Zealander regrouped, stayed calm, and countered sharply to turn the bout in his favor. That comeback left a lasting impression of Zhang, who now calls Parker one of the most resilient and composed fighters in the division. His view adds even more weight to the belief that Parker thrives under pressure, something Wardley will undoubtedly try to test.
Since I've been in the ring with Joseph Parker, I am slightly favoring Parker in this fight. I believe his overall ability is level above.
Jermaine Franklin looks at the matchup through a tactical lens. He sees it as a battle of styles more than personalities. Parker's precision and patience versus Wardley's explosiveness and aggression. Franklin acknowledges Wardley's unpredictability as his biggest asset, especially early on, when his energy and awkward angles can catch opponents by surprise. But if Parker survives that initial storm, Franklin expects his experience to take over. Once Wardley starts to tire and lose shape, Franklin believes Parker's sharpness and timing could expose the gaps in his technique.
I like that fight. I actually like both fighters. Fabio's kind of nice. It's kind of smooth. Joseph Parker is very aggressive. He likes to punch. He likes to throw his combinations. So I think they have two good styles that kind of complement each other, but we won't know how it goes until we see it in the ring. I haven't seen too much of Parker. No knock on him, but, you know, I'm cool. Fabio's kind of my guy, so... Yeah, you know, I like to see Fab pull it out.
Derek Chisora, who's been in the ring with Parker twice, offers a slightly different perspective. He's fought Parker, felt his power, and respects his ability. But he still senses that Wardley's confidence and momentum might make this fight more competitive than people expect. Chisora sees danger in Wardley's self-belief. That kind of fearlessness can push a fight into chaos. And when things get messy, anything can happen. While he doesn't write Parker off, he refuses to count Wardley out either.
My prediction for the Joseph Parker and Fabio Wardley. I feel like Wardley wins this fight with a knockout. I don't know why I'm thinking it, but it's just, when it's just like that. It's like when you play the lottery and then you just get your numbers right. And I believe Fabio's got his numbers right now because after his last performance, he's got something to prove. I know Fabio for a while, Fabio is a little beast. And Joseph is a beast as well, but I believe that if Fabio Wardley wins this fight with a knockout, it will stop Joseph Parker. Trust me on this. Put your house on this deal, I'm telling you. It's going to be electric. The boy from London, Norwich, is going to do it. He from Norwich. Because he will know.
In Parker's corner, there is strong support from Guido Vianello, a heavyweight who's been training alongside him in camp. Vianello has seen Parker's preparation up close and insists that Kiwi looks sharper, calmer, and more dialed in than ever. According to him, Parker's focus on physical form suggests he's taking Wardley's power seriously, but isn't intimidated by it. He expects Parker to handle the pressure comfortably and keep control of the fight.
Yeah, I spar with Fabio too, but Parker is my brother. We live together. I helped him in Riyadh for the fight with Dubois. I love Joseph, and I think that he's stronger, he's faster. And Parker right now is the top three. Usyk, Moses, and Parker. This is the names now. So Parker is a top guy. He deserves a title fight. He deserves the world title fight. So I'm with Parker team. He will win. And then I hope to see him versus Usyk.
Frazer Clark, another fighter who knows Wardley better than most after sharing 2 hard-fought bouts with him, also weighed in. Clark acknowledges how much Wardley has improved since their first encounter, praising his evolution as both a puncher and a competitor. But he still believes that experience wins big fights. And Parker's years at world level give him an edge that can't be taught. Clark predicts that once the fight enters the later rounds, Parker's ring intelligence will make the difference.
Going into this fight, in terms of form, they're both in really good form. But you got to say on performances, Joseph Parker's pulled out some great performances against, your likes of Zhang, Deontay Wilder, Martin Bakole. He's in red hot form. But then again, you've got Fabio Wardley. You just can't deny him. You can't write him off because at any time, he's dangerous.
David Hay brings yet another layer of insight. He sees Parker's willingness to take on tough, high-risk opponents as proof of his warrior mentality. Over the last few years, Parker hasn't shied away from danger. Instead, he's leaned into it, taking fights that most would avoid. That attitude, combined with his skill and calmness in big moments, is what Hay believes separates Parker from most of today's heavyweights. Still, he refuses to ignore Wardley's heart. Hay points out that Wardley's grit and belief in himself could make this fight unpredictable from start to finish.
Parker seems to want to fight all of the toughest guys on the planet. Bakole, Zhang, Wilder. Those 3 guys are the guys that you don't want to fight. They're the who needs them club. There's no one. He needs it. He needs the action. He needs to fight the most dangerous guys. And Wardley, he didn't do that clever in his last fight. But prior to that shot against Clark, the overhand right, put a dent in the side of his head. He's got heart, he's gritty, he's strong, he's young, he's fresh, no real miles on the clock. So it's gonna once again, I can't see how Parker, with his experience, former world champion, beat Ruiz. He's had some real great fights over the years and proven time and time again that he's world level, genuinely world level. Wardley, I think, is a little early for him. I think, a couple more, off the strength of his last fight. Obviously, he won a spectacular knockout victory, but up until that knockout victory, it didn't look comfortable. I'm not sure if training camp was bad or whatever, but if I'm a better man, I'd go with Parker. I'll go with Parker.
Finally, Lawrence Okoye, who has sparred with both men, breaks it down from a technical standpoint. He believes Wardley's success depends on how accurate he can be against a disciplined opponent like Parker. Wardley has the kind of power that can change a fight instantly, but his accuracy sometimes lets him down, especially against fighters who use smart footwork and angles. Okoye references how boxers like Justice Hooney and Fraser Clark were able to frustrate Wardley with quick jabs and constant movement, forcing him to swing wildly and miss.
I believe Wardley's going to win. I believe Wardley's going to be a bit sharper, especially in the early rounds. And if he can clip, I know Parker's an ex-world champion and he's been in there with some of the best fighters, but I think he's not had a lot of rounds lately. He had 1 round against, or 2 rounds against Bacoli, and before that I think his last fight was maybe Wilder. So he's, in the last 2 or 3 years, he's only had maybe, I don't know how many rounds. So I think that with Wardley, he's been on a good run. I think his sharpness will be able to get to Parker, and I think he'll hurt him in the middle rounds and end by stoppage. But if he doesn't, and the fight goes on later, I think Parker's experience is going to really show.
As the final predictions roll in, one thing's clear. Everyone expects fireworks. Parker's calm professionalism will be tested by Wardley's explosive unpredictability, and neither man is likely to play it safe. The fight represents a classic storyline in boxing, the seasoned veteran versus the hungry knockout artist. Parker brings years of championship experience, while Wardley carries the kind of raw danger that makes him a threat from the opening bell. Whether it ends with a calculated finish from Parker or a stunning knockout from Wardley, fans are bracing for a fight that won't lack drama.